Okay, so in preparation for dashboard removal, I need to do a couple of things under the bonnet first. So first of all, we have disconnected the battery. Now on Dotty, we've got a disconnect which is screwed into the negative terminal of the battery. So I've removed that, isolated the battery, so that's fine. Just make sure we don't get any unwanted shorts. We then need to disconnect the throttle cable, which is here, and the heater tap over there. And that just allows us to pull the choke cable and heater cable back through the dashboard. So I'll just pull that up and disconnect. There's a little nut buried almost inaccessibly down the side of the throttle linkage here. Which I'm hoping I can get on without having to take the air filter off. Okay, so throttle cable, or choke cable rather, is disconnected. So that we can push back through the dashboard in a moment. So I'm going to move over now and disconnect the heater. Yep. So third thing down here to disconnect is the control on the heater tap. And all this does basically, this is what controls the little gate inside the heater, which directs it between blowing cold and hot air into the car. Obviously, because Dotty is Imperial, make sure when you're doing this, you're using an Imperial adjustable spanner, not a metric one, because obviously it won't fit. Ah, I see. So the issue that we've got is that there's the end crimped over on the cable with a little nipple on the end to stop it. Release that from here. So I'm just undoing this because the end of the cable's been bent over, so I'm hoping if I can release the clamp here, then we can disconnect it. I'm going to have to do that. Everybody's going to be getting bored of watching this, so we'll just take the end off there. Right, that's the heater cable now removed. We'll probably replace some of these bulkhead grommets as well as we go through, because there is in fact one missing there. So that's the heater tap and the choke linkage disconnected. Battery's disconnected, so we'll move back inside the car now and just have a look at connections there to take off. Okay, so we moved inside. We've already removed the seats from Dotty and the steering wheel, which makes it easier but slightly less comfortable. So we've got 3 large set screws holding the dashboard into the top of the scuttle. There should be a couple of fixings at the bottoms on either side. One of those I think is missing, and there should also be 2 fixings into the centre console which are missing. And as you can see, the bottom of the dash is a little bit wobbly, which is why we're going to build this switch panel at a later date. So we're just going to work our way along methodically, undoing or attempting to undo all of the fixings. Oh, I see. Right, the bracket's there, but it's missing. Oh, yeah, it's snapped off. Right, okay. Right, that's out. Let's just loosen the...
Yeah, thank you. Turn that 90 degrees.
Should be able to just...
I think it's the tacho, the cables might be...
Yeah, okay, right. So we've got the fixings out. Which is the temperature gauge?
Sort of ridge corrugated temperature sender.
Okay, I'll have a look at that in a sec.
Okay. And there's not a huge amount of give on that.
No, okay. Oh, speedo cable. That might be what's... Okay, so that's speedo drive disconnected.
The tacho. Okay, yep. That's out.
Right. These are... Right, so there's the speedo.
You okay?
Oh, that's better.
So we've got the choke cable out.
Yep. the choke cable. That's the Speedo cable, which is free.
That's the washer pump.
Yeah. That's got a little lock nut on the front on this one, isn't it? Comes off through.
Yeah, it's dropped. There you are.
Okay, lovely. That's good. So that we don't actually need to disconnect that.
Yep.
Take a picture of the position of these spade terminals on the back of the switches, just so that we know what goes where.
Red and the green on the left-hand side.
Could you photograph these terminals on the tachometer? Okay, right. Oh, that's the ignition. Right, oh, I see. Yeah, it's just a light baffle that takes the light from the bulb holder through to the ignition light. So that's that out. Oh, I tell you what it's wedged on. It's the fishtail end of the demister tube.
Right.
But I don't think there's anything actually holding it.
Okay.
Have you seen my 11mm socket anywhere? Because that is definitely what we need. Scalpel or forceps?
Scalpel.
Scalpel, thank you. Cheers. Ah, yeah.
We on?
We are. That's better. What a difference the right tool makes. Or perhaps it's the right tool causing the problems. I don't know. The column is loose now, as is, I think, the dash. We've just got to get the temperature sender, etc., off. But the column, yeah, the columns.
Okay.
The columns are loose.
Do we disconnect the temperature sender from the dial or from engine?
It's saying. Quick look under the bonnet. I can't see we're going to lose all the coolant out of it. Famous last words.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, so that's coming out of the block.
Right.
So let's try and leave that adapter.
Thermostat.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, lovely.
Put your thumb in the dike, right?
She wasn't very happy when I tried that. So we're working our way through removing the gauges behind the dash. One of the things we need to do is to disconnect the water temperature sensor. And that goes into this capillary tube here in the bottom of the thermostat housing. So we've drained down the level of the coolant. We don't need to drain the coolant completely. We just need to drop it down below the level of the thermostat housing. So we've drained that down. We've disconnected the 5/8, I think it was, taking the capillary tube out. What we've got to do now is to straighten up the capillary tube, which runs back through the bulkhead here. There's quite a nest of capillary tube. It does make me wonder slightly why they didn't fit a shorter capillary tube, but anyway. So either BL in their wisdom had a reason for doing this, or probably it's parts bin from something else, which it's probably a capillary tube from something with a much longer bonnet. Yeah, as is the case with these. There's almost but not quite enough room to do what you need to do. That's not going to undo. No. Let's get that back on.
Okay. I reckon, should we have a cup of tea and think about this?
Yep, definitely. Shit. Oh, fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Okay, so when you're ready, start pulling. Okay. Yep, slowly. Okay, keep going.
Okay, now we'll have to be a bit careful because this is where we've got a bit of a problem. I'm going to maybe have to cut out the bulkhead grommet.
We obviously can't until we... Right, let's hope it doesn't. So inverting it a bit, we can...
Got it?
Okay, so some considerable time later, in fact it's actually the next morning, worked on quite late last night to get the dashboard back in, get all the gauges hooked up. It's a little bit of a struggle, so we started bright and early this morning. Again, it's another lovely hot day in the workshop here, so the dashboard is all back in. We'll going to drop the seats back in a moment and then we'll turn on and just check that everything's working okay. So I've reconnected everything, hopefully, touch wood, everything's going to work. Okay, and so the dashboard is all finally fixed back in. I've replaced the fixings up into the top of the dash rail here, and also down in the bottom corners up under there, there's the fixings in there. You can see also the switch panel that we fitted in. Dash looks really good, really pleased with everything, with how the paint turned out. So a huge thanks to my brother Duncan, who while he was here for the weekend sorting out some electrical gremlins before. So it's all back in there with the steering column now, new steering wheel refitted, everything's all buttoned up, replaced the coolant temperature and oil pressure gauge. As we say, we had a bit of a fault with that. Repaired some slightly dodgy connections on the wiring, and otherwise, yeah, it's all in and looking really good. So again, I think we can call that another job ticked off the list.